It's been quite the roller coaster of a year in terms of content across languages. The more I explore films, the more I realize that I have barely scratched the surface. I'm trying my best to view as much as I can, and even those films that are causing only ripples within their own industry. I've compiled the films that I personally loved watching. Just remember this is my personal view. These range from movies that brought me pure joy in theaters and also the lesser known, which were more nuanced and understated in their storytelling and did not catch the eyes of the masses. You also do let me know what were your top 3 best experiences in theaters or streaming platforms. I would love to know why they made it to your lists. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with top 10 best Indian movies of 2024. Number 10 goes to Manjumal Boys. This was quite the surprise for me as I literally stepped in having zero expectations and having not seen the trailer as well. I remember stepping in for this film thinking that it's just going to be a boys' trip that goes terribly wrong, a real event that many people are well versed with. But what could possibly be the cultural impact of such a film? And oh boy, was I naive. Manjumal Boys and its narrative had the ability to seamlessly transition from a carefree road film with playful banter among a group of friends to a horror survival film highlighting the unbreakable bond among brothers. Its heartfelt dedication to Tamil cinema made the film speak to an audience beyond the Malayalam diaspora, and one genuinely was at the edge of their seat as their friends tried everything in their might to rescue Subhash. I never knew that the film could take the turn that it did, a film that was technically brilliant and still had the ability to extract such impactful emotional moments. Sobin Shahir being hugged by the mother who always considered him to be a loser is still so vivid in my memory. Number 9 goes to Lucky Bhaskar. No one would have imagined that Dulquer Salmaan joining hands with Venki Atluri would produce such a slick, watertight and entertaining film that would not only be appreciated amongst the critics but celebrated at the box office. A complex money laundering racket is not dumbed down for the audience. The makers very smartly execute the same in a 2-hour 30-minute running time. A simple cashier Bhaskar played by Dulquer Salmaan who aspires to go up the ranks in his bank only to be dealt the short end of the stick to continue living his life of mediocrity and debt. When the common man is pushed and shoved consistently, they often have a moment where they run wild. When Bhaskar sniffs blood, when he finally begins to become a rogue in a system that he was a slave to, will he ever stop again? What an entertaining journey this film took us on. The production design of Old Bombay, the cheeky nature in which the storytelling is done, Dulquer breaking the fourth wall consistently every time he bamboozles someone. He has this mischievous smile that you can't help but be entertained by. How he is getting away with crime. Efficiently executed and brilliantly performed. Number 8 goes to The Goat Life or Adu Jeevitam. The story behind what this film underwent from a production standpoint and what Prithviraj dedicated to it as an artist is something that can easily extract a documentary reflective of human perseverance and passion for the craft. This for me personally would have been the official choice for the Oscars from India, but I realize that that is an unpopular opinion. A story most who reside in Kerala have read about, and to see it being portrayed with such sincerity, it compelled anyone and everyone to be in awe of the storytelling and visuals. As the film and its frames encapsulated vast nothingness, you could not help but be in disbelief for this to be a real account of the events that transpired as a man metamorphosized into the cattle that he herded. I still remember my jaw dropping as Prithviraj dropped his shirt prior to his escape and you could see nothing but bones. A dedication for a story very few artists possess. Number 7 goes to All We Imagine Is Light. A film that is causing waves internationally is struggling to get enough screens in India to be shown to its own people. The Payal Kapadia directed film All We Imagine Is Light is a story of 3 ordinary women and their survival in the madness that is the Maya Nagari called Mumbai, a city that becomes a character in the film. A lingering sadness in every frame and an overcast of grey and blue takes over as humans are packed like sardines in every frame of the film. Reflective of the Mumbai experience one is privy to. The film sheds light on the transient nature of the city, the fear of calling it home due to its organized madness that seems to have no anchor, reeking of impermanence much like life. The film showcases the many perils of development, of gentrification, of basic subsistence, and the unlivable nature of the cities we live in, hollow high-rises, lacking character, and everyone finding their own form of happiness even when surrounded by misery. This movie is exceptional and totally worth your time. It's still in select theaters. If it ever drops on a streaming platform, I would highly recommend you watch it. Number 6 goes to Mardan, a spectacular Tamil film in every way. I couldn't help myself but oscillate between two contrasting emotions of either helplessly weeping or having a silly smile across my face. Arul visiting his hometown after 22 years for his sister's wedding after having left the town in 1996 due to a property dispute with his family is achingly beautiful. The interesting friendship that builds between Arul and the character played by Karthi is of hesitance, confusion, annoyance, and of pure joy and abandon. The film is a trip down memory lane for Arul of conflicting feelings of a land and its people that he dearly loves but also has a resentment towards. The film beautifully expands on these complex emotions of uncles helplessly breaking down, of past love and their lives flashing right in front of them. Those of you who you hold dear and see very little of, you just want to prolong the moment shared with them as long as you can. Savor it, and Mardan truly becomes a beautiful tale of human relationships, the egos at play, and shedding that arrogance once and for all, only to reflect on what you let go of for such a large portion of your life. Number 5 goes to Kishkinda Kadam. The biggest underdog amongst the movies I saw this year was this film. A newly married couple and the slow unraveling of the past and eccentricities of the characters in the household. Asif, playing the role of Ajay Chandran, is more or less a caretaker for his father, but what transpired a few years ago has altered their lives forever. What does the wife Aparna notice on a day-to-day basis that disturbs her? What is it about this family that is more than what they pretend to showcase to the public? The film beautifully withholds information, making you spiral as a viewer, assuming the worst outcomes in the screenplay, and that's the beauty of a well-designed thriller. Vijay Raghavan is exceptional, connecting the dots in a meticulous fashion. Even though he feels like he is lagging behind, a proud ex-army man, I could see my own father in the way he never wants to be vulnerable or feel like a burden to those around him. Asif Ali, another extremely underrated actor in my opinion from the Malayalam film industry, who just deserves so much more love for what he has done in this film. Emotionally surrendering completely and shining in the latter half of this film as the mirage breaks for Aparna. Slick, smart, and brilliantly acted. Number 4 goes to Braham. The dream run of Mammootty is truly inspiring at this age, but playing an embodiment of the devil, reminiscent of Francis Ford Coppola's 1992 film Dracula, where Gary Oldman, having turned into a monster in his Transylvania castle, carrying out several devious acts for his best interest and sometimes just for the pleasure of toying with the downtrodden, was masterful. The eerie atmosphere extracted by Rahul Sadasivan, Christo Xavier's creepy music, and the profound social connotation of what the characters, their circumstances, the establishment, and the interpersonal dynamics represent all accounted for one of my favorite theatre experiences. Mamuka is the unhinged monster, his devil-like manic laughter, the savage manner in which he feasted was truly an actor that fully embodied evil. The way this tale unravels was a chapter straight out of a scary folktale told at a family gathering, making me wish for more pure horror films versus the obvious horror comedies that are everywhere to be seen. Number 3 goes to Chameli. There is an undeniable personal connection that I have to Imtiaz Ali as a creator. So much so that I root for his success because he spoke to me in so many ways through his stories and characters. His venture Amar Singh Chameli hitting a chord with the masses was the redemption arc I and many others also wished for him. This is also an example of casting an actor who simply understands the socio-cultural impact of an artist he is playing, because such sincerity is tough to come by. Diljit as Amar Singh Chameli was flawless, supported by an earnest Pariniti, and the trident of music joining hands together ensured a musical tragedy for the ages that left a deep impact on me. The interesting and unique way in which Imtiaz designed the screenplay and made the music just an essential core of the storytelling is something to marvel at. Vida Karo will always remain with me, and so will this heartbreaking story of an artist wronged by those that made him. Number 2 goes to Maharaja. Imagine blowing everyone's mind in India and then going on to do the same in China as well. This is a film that extracted the most dramatic reactions from me as I went into the theatre with no expectations. I literally sat there and thought to myself that it is so dumb that Vijay Sethupathe's character is filing a case literally for a missing dustbin. And as the screenplay unfolded, my jaw dropped to the floor, leaving me in awe of just the number of surprises this film could throw my way. This is a thriller that genuinely deserves a masterclass on its screenplay and how meticulously it weaves everything together. An exceptionally engaging performance by Vijay Sethupathy, a sigh of relief for Tamil film fans who were rooting for his box office success as a lead, and even though the film has generated several opinions on its sensitivity regarding disturbing themes, I still stand by it being one of the most engaging and effective thrillers I have seen in the last few years. Before I go to number 1, I just want to mention some honorable mentions. Number 1 goes to Aavesham. Undoubtedly one of the most memorable and entertaining experiences in theatres in 2024 was this mad film. I laughed, clapped, hooted and even wept in this Jeetu Madhavan directed film. This is a film that not only entertained me but made me care about the characters, even with its supposed frivolous plot. Ranga, played by Fahad Fasil, will be a character remembered for years to come, for the abandon with which he played the empathetic gangster. The dynamic he shared with Amban, played with such effortless charm by Sajan Gopu, the 3 kids, the influence of the mother to keep Ranga emotionally in check, his inner turmoil that no one except Amban acknowledges, the cultural context of Malayalis in Bangalore and the gang fights that ensue, Sushan Shyam with his score, the sheer madness that follows in the action sequences. I can honestly keep on raving about this entertaining film that extracted more tension in a dumb charade sequence than most high-octane action films. I'm so curious to see Ranga and his escapades in a future installment, and I hope Fahad Fasil channelizes more of his energy with Malayalam films than just the small cameos across pan-Indian films. On a side note, hearing Mohanlal is going to collaborate with Jeetu Madhavan has me terribly excited. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what were your favorite films of 2024. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.